I really became interested in behavioral economics because it became very clear to me as a clinician and as a researcher that engagement is central and key to all of the goals that I'm trying to achieve. Either it's improving health for my patients when I'm seeing them in clinic, or improving health through creating knowledge through research, either at the population level or at the policy level, which is where I do my own work. And it almost doesn't matter what sort of great treatment I have to offer them in clinic or what sort of great intervention I've designed to get people to be more physically active if we can't get the people who are going to benefit from those interventions to actually engage with whatever we have to offer. And so behavioral economics is a science that can be applied in order to increase engagement across many different sectors. There actually is not that much empiric data available about, what is the best way to provide incentives for research participants to come into a randomized clinical trial or a long-term registry and keep them there. We are, in most cases, providing some sort of compensation or financial incentive for research participants to come into a study, stay in the study, things like $20 for enrolling in the study, and then maybe $30 for doing another visit within the study. Can we use the principles from behavioral economics to design those types of incentives in a way that's more effective? For example, rather than framing the incentives as a gain, meaning come in and get $20, can we frame them instead as a loss, putting points into an account at the beginning of the study, and then people losing points if they're not achieving the different mileposts within the study protocol, for example, or using lottery incentives in addition to gain or loss framed incentives, again, leveraging principles from behavioral economics. Here at the DCRI, we are leaders in the space of innovating in clinical research, and there are several groups who are very focused on specific ways in which we could innovate and do clinical research even more effectively. So some of the partners that we're working with closely are Research Together, very focused on making sure that we are putting the participant at the center of all of the work that we're doing around clinical research. Prefer, which is again very related in that trying to understand what it is that people, research participants want when they're coming into research studies, and then putting all of that together and informing the design of the different, for example, incentives or the choice environment in which is created, built based on the principles of behavioral economics. The lane is wide open for being able to create some good science in the space of research participant engagement through, again, how we present the choices around research participation to the way that we provide incentives to research participants. So we at DCRI here obviously have a really incredible portfolio of big clinical research studies that we could use as a platform to test some of these different types of interventions. And in addition, we have the expertise in evaluation to be able to say which are working better and for who.